Welcome back to my channel. I have 3 new Easter DIYs for you today, mainly using supplies from the Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby. For the first project, I'm going to use one of the Easter egg ornaments from the Dollar Tree. I didn't need the hole at the top, and off camera I filled it in with some spackle. I gave the entire egg a coat of yellow paint, and I go around the edge with some orange paint, lightly pouncing it on with a makeup sponge. I go around the inside edge of the orange that I just put on with a paintbrush and some yellow paint just to soften up the edges a little bit and blend it in more. I cut the feet, the beak, and a little tuft of hair at the top out of some felt. I doubled up the felt on all of the pieces except for the beak because it is a little bit thin. I just love how the little beak turned out. I think it's really cute. Here are the pieces for the little tuft of hair that I'm going to have at the top of his head. This is a really quick and easy project, and it was a lot of fun to put together. I think it would be really cute to have a chick couple or a little trio and give them all different faces. I used some light pink paint for the cheeks, and I'm just pouncing it on with a paintbrush. Using chalk for this project would also be a great option if you don't want to use paint. You'll see me use chalk in a lot of my projects and gives a really nice look to each piece. To add some detail to the cheeks, I'm just doing some cross hatches and tick marks just to give it a little more detail, flair, and cuteness. I do have 3 or 4 more videos of Easter crafts coming up. Using a stylus, I just dot on some eyes using black, and I use a smaller stylus to put a little white dot in each of the eyes. I did paint them on an angle on purpose just for a more whimsical look than putting the eyes straight across from each other. I took some baker's twine from the Dollar Tree in orange and white stripes, and I just tied 2 strands together into a simple bow. This is where I'm adding the white dot to each eye. I'm going to glue the chick to another Dollar Tree egg. I covered the egg with some scrapbook paper. You'll see that in my next project. I glue a tumbling tower block to the back so that it will stand up. Going in with my Sharpie marker, I do some squiggles and dots along the outside edge of both the chick and the egg. I use the Sharpie marker to draw a couple of eyebrows. You could also do eyelashes, but I chose not to for this project. And I just add a few little tick marks to the cheeks just to give them kind of a patch look. I don't know, I thought of it at the last second and I thought it was really cute. Here's what the finished chicken egg look like. I think they turned out really adorable, and it's a really fun, easy, and quick project to do for your Easter decor. I purchased a package of the ornament eggs from the Dollar Tree and I covered a bunch of them with scrapbook paper. I like to Mod Podge the egg onto the paper and then use an X-Acto knife to cut it off. I have this little piece of MDF that I cut, just painting with Waverly chalk paint in the color ivory. This will be the pedestal that I build my egg and bunny tower from. I start planning where I want the pieces to build an egg tower with some little bunnies peeking out from behind. The bunny shapes are from Hobby Lobby. I painted them white, light gray, and nutmeg brown, and I sanded along the edges. I have some teeny tiny little heart-shaped buttons, and I decided to paint those pink and use them for the bunny noses. I cut some baker's twine, and these will be the whiskers for each bunny. If you're enjoying this video, please let YouTube know by giving it a thumbs up, subscribing to my channel, and sharing it with your friends. I use a stylus to paint on the eyes just like I did with the chick. And I'm keeping the painting very simple for all of these projects. Again, I did put the eyes on an angle on purpose. And I just take a few strands of the baker's twine and glue them on for the whiskers. I do end up trimming the whiskers a bit more off camera, and you'll see what they look like at the end. Using the blade of my scissors, I'm just going to fray the baker's twine to give the whiskers more volume. I glue a tumbling tower block to the back of the bottom egg. This will hold it onto my pedestal. And just like in one of my previous videos, you can see that horrible stamp that they put on the back of the egg, and I had already covered it with paper. I ended up painting the back of all of the eggs anyway. At first I was just going to stain them with antique wax, but once I noticed the stamp on there, I decided to go ahead and paint over all of them. I'm using some wood embellishments that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. There may also be some from the Dollar Tree, and I just use them as little embellishments to my egg tower. Taking some pink paint and a fluffy brush, I tap most of the color off of the brush and lightly add some color to the inside ear. I cut some buffalo check ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to fold them in half. I put a piece of wire or string around the center, and I'm just going to give each side a little dovetail, and these are going to be the little bow ties for my bunnies. I'm gluing my little heart-shaped noses on, and I think they make the perfect little bunny nose. Each bunny will have a different color bow tie, so I just glue that to the neck. I have some flower-shaped ribbons from the same set, and I glue those to the center of the bow tie. To start building my tower, I just plan out where I want the eggs and glue them together. I thought it would be a really cute and fun idea to have the bunnies peeking out from behind the eggs. I apologize for the camera angle, but because this tower gets higher as I add eggs, I can't fit it all in frame. I glue my tower to the pedestal, and I'll be using a couple of different embellishments, including these cute little baskets, Easter eggs, and carrots from Hobby Lobby. I also have the baker's twine from Dollar Tree that I used in my first project, and I thought these carrots would look adorable covered in that orange and white baker's twine, and I do that with some of them, not all of them, and I really love how these turned out. So I just glue the baker's twine and wrap it all the way around the carrots down to the tip. I give the carrot tops a little haircut. They looked a little wild, so I trimmed them down so that the stems were even, and I also kind of spread them out a little bit to make them more realistic. Some of the carrots I end up painting using the colors Spiced Carrot and Ripe Tomato, I think, from Apple Barrel Paints. I just didn't care for the bright orange color that they came in. I thought this toned it down just a little bit. I'm using the ripe tomato to paint in some lines on my carrots. These baskets from Hobby Lobby are super adorable and they look fine just as is, but I wanted to just paint them a light brown color, which I believe this is caramel or camel from Apple Barrel Paints. I can't remember which one, but it's just a light tan color and I go over the entire basket. For a little more detail on the basket, I take some of that orange and white baker's twine and I'm just wrapping it around the handle and gluing it on. I'm going to use 2 strands of the baker's twine, make a simple bow, and glue it to the front of my basket. I love my little basket of carrots. I think it's so sweet and adorable. To finish up, I'm going to glue a tumbling tower block to the back of the bottom bunny. This is going to stand him up at the pedestal. And I end up painting the tumbling tower block to match the pedestal in ivory by Waverly Chalk Paint. Here's the final project. I think it turned out really cute. You can see all of the different embellishments that I added, the little wood ornaments from Hobby Lobby. I also had some felt flowers from the Hobby Lobby that I put on. I may end up taking some of those off. Sometimes if I look at the projects long enough, I make some changes, but for right now, I think it turned out pretty good. For project number 3, I'm going to assemble a fence using some small craft sticks from the Dollar Tree, and I've painted them white distress the edges with some sandpaper, and I'm just going to build a little fence using some square toothpicks on the back to hold them together. And it took a little time to actually line these up to keep the gap the same throughout. But using the carpenter square really helped me align the pieces and keep them straight. I used another piece of that MDF board that I had and I painted it green to resemble grass. I also cut this piece from felt and just cut it to resemble grass blades and attached it to my fence. And I'm going to glue the fence to the pedestal. I paint some square toothpicks. These are going to be the stems of my flowers. For this project, I put my own flowers together using some felt and some square toothpicks. I just mixed up a green color that I liked, and these will be my flower stems. You can see I've cut some flower shapes out of felt, and I have 2 pieces for each color, and I just glue that toothpick in between each felt piece. I cut some small teardrop shapes from green felt, and I glue them to the stem. These will be my flower leaves. Here you can see I have 3 different colored tulips. And then I remembered, hey, I have those cute little felt flowers from Hobby Lobby. I thought they looked really cute, so I do end up gluing some of those on to the top of my flower stems. For this project, I'm making my own little Easter basket, so I'm just using some light brown colored polymer clay and I'm rolling it out into really thin ropes. I put 2 pieces of the rope together and I just twist it pretty tightly, and I'm going to use this twisted rope to shape my basket. To make the bottom of the basket, I'm taking that rope and just wrapping it around into a circle. I start building the sides by laying the clay on top of each other. I did the same thing for my handle. I rolled multiple colors of the same polymer clay, and I'm just rolling them into really simple egg shapes. These are going to fit into the Easter basket. After baking the clay according to the instructions on the packet, this is what I have for my basket. And I'm going to glue a handle inside the basket. Unfortunately, the handle ends up breaking off. I got a little rough with it when I was moving things around and didn't notice until I took a video of the final look. And so you'll see that it doesn't have a handle anymore, and I didn't want to hold up this project, so I do make another one, but I didn't have it in time for filming. I found the cute little resin bunny couple at Hobby Lobby. Here I'm just figuring out where I want all of my little pieces. I made this cute little chick out of polymer clay coming out of an eggshell. I think he turned out super cute. Like, he's off the charts cute. I'm just positioning all of my little parts and pieces here to see what looks best. And I'm going to have most of the eggs inside the basket, but some of them will be laying outside of the basket. Off camera, I also painted some of the eggs with some little polka dots. Here you can see what that flower looks like with the felt piece from Hobby Lobby. I used some onion grass from the Dollar Tree, and these will serve as my grass blades for the front of the piece. So I just cut a bunch of pieces longer than I need just to glue them onto the front of my pedestal. I made this little bear out of polymer clay many, many, many years ago, and I just ripped off one of those little bees that I have from this piece to use on my Easter display because I didn't want to take the time to make another one. I wrapped some thin wire around a toothpick a few times. This is what's going to hold my bee into flying position. I start gluing the pieces onto the pedestal. I give the grass a nice haircut, making sure that the pieces are different lengths so it looks more realistic. I cut a piece of felt. This is going to fit the front of my frame in front of the grass. Something just didn't seem right about the look of the grass in the front, so I glued this piece of felt just over the front to cover the pedestal, and I think it looks a lot better. For all of the crochet lovers, I haven't forgotten you. I do have projects coming up very soon. Here's a look at the final project. I think it turned out super adorable. It's my favorite out of all of the projects. Please let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. I've never seen anything like it, and I just love it. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I'll see you in my next video.